the next 30 minutes, we look into the stumbling blocks to starting a business in the Philippines.
In the next 30 minutes, we will find out what dampens business sentiment.
In the next 30 minutes, we will trace the steps to attracting investments.
And this may change your life.
Red tape, a number of restrictive laws, and unending street protests and threats to the administration all scare away investors, both local and foreign, from parking their money in Philippine businesses. For almost half a century, the country has been encouraging Filipinos to go into business, with policies like Filipino First in the 50s and foreign investment laws in the 60s and the 70s. But now barriers to investments have been building up. From step one, an investor faces a tedious process in registering his business and securing permits, both from local government units and national agencies. There is also a nationality rule requiring majority holding by Filipino citizens in certain businesses. 60-40 for corporations seeking to engage in the use of natural resources, 60-40 for schools and colleges, 70-30 for the advertising industry, and 100% for mass media. The threat of political instability likewise turns off investors. Political tensions trigger capital flight, cause international credit outlook revisions, and depict the Philippines as a high-risk country for investment. How can the Philippines lure investors? What can be done to eradicate red tape, amend certain laws to open the country to businessmen, and ease political jitters to make the Philippines ideal for investors?
I'm Yvette Novenario.
And I'm Noli Santos. This is your Public Policy Forum. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Today we talk about the barriers to domestic and foreign direct investments. We are joined by lawyer Lilia B. De Lima, Director General of the Philippine Economic Zone Authority.
We will also be looking into what entices and what ticks off prospective businessmen. We are also joined by Virgilio Fulgencio, Executive Director of the DTI Center for Industrial Competitiveness.
This is for both of you. The good news we got is from the World Competitiveness Scoreboard 2005, the Philippines was upgraded from 52 to 49. For still higher upgrading, how can we make the Philippines more globally competitive?
Yes, first of all, we have to attract more foreign investors. And you see, we need incremental capital. The ideal is the businessman, the local businessman create businesses here. But because we need incremental capital, we have to attract more foreign investments so that we'll have more exports, more employment, and more transfer of technology. And I think to attract foreign investments, we have to be competitive, not just in the rates, because right now, Noli, our #1 competitive edge is our Filipino worker, who still remains to be the best in the world. And then we are also very strategically located in the Asia-Pacific region, where a few hours flight to our Asian neighbors and direct flights to U.S. and other European countries. And our investment incentives are competitive, comparable with what we have in the region.
Director Fulgencio.
Well, Noli, first of all, let me say that contrary to public perception, our economic fundamentals are good. In fact, in the newspapers today, NEDA published our first semester GDP growth rate at 5.1%. That's pretty good by Asian standards. So I think what we need to do is to continue the reform measures that this present government has started, which is to reduce red tape, ensure political stability, and in due time, we'll be able to attract a lot of quality investments to come into the country.
What exactly, though, makes the Philippines an attractive place to invest? When we don't have necessarily the cheapest labor, we are very skillful, but our English proficiency has gone down. Are we still attractive?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Good.
Well, definitely. As Attorney De Lima mentioned a while ago, our number one competitive edge really is the Filipino worker and the manager, our human resource. Very, very in fact, in the annual ranking of the World Competitiveness Report, the Filipino worker and the Filipino manager has always ranked between 1 to 5 globally as the most competitive. So I think we need to maintain that and sustain that by strengthening our educational system.
Okay, ma'am.
I think the only trouble is that there's a perception, and perception could be very far from reality. You see, Yvette, most of the companies that are here, they continue on expanding because they know what's going on. But our fear is that the others out there who may be thinking of locating here, putting up their facility here, might have the impression that this is not a good place to invest in. So what do? First, we have to attend to the companies that are already here. I can just speak about PESA, the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, where all our investors are, foreign-oriented. They're all export-oriented. And so we have over 1,300 companies in the 75 operating economic zones. And the companies that are here, they know what's going on. And we attend to them. There's no red tape. We don't have that word in PESA. There's no red tape. In PESA, we are not just a one-stop shop. We are also a non-stop shop. One-stop shop, all the visas are processed by PESA. The building and occupancy permits are issued by PESA. The environmental clearances are done with DNR, and a lot of other things. And we say we are also a non-stop shop because most of our locators, about 70% are electronics. And there should be a very fast turnaround time. So we have to be there to assist them. So we have to be also 24/7 out there in the field in all these economic zones. We have, especially in manufacturing, we have people to attend to them. They can knock any time of the night and say, we need your services, facilitate the exportation or importation. So we are there. That's the only way we have to be competitive. Now, this contented, happy locators will now tell about this and say, come to the Philippines. They're, in fact, our best allies in promoting investments in the Philippines.
PESA is consideredly the exception or a kind of model in attracting foreign investments. But a lot of people are asking, do we have incentives for domestic or local Filipino entrepreneurs?
Yes, definitely. In fact, in DTI, our focus right now is to help develop the Filipino SME sector, which is large, but largely unproductive also. So, in fact, if you take a look at the programs of government to help SMEs, all of these programs are in place. It is only a matter of informing the SME where to go, how to do it. And I think in terms of financing, consultancy, all of these things. And what they can perhaps do is to go to any DTI office. By the way, DTI is located all over the country, in all of our regions, down to the provincial level. So all that they have to do is to get in touch with our provincial directors, and all of the help that they need will be there in the DTI office. But by the way, PESA is part of the DTI family, so we share the same culture of excellence and customer service.
It's always been said, though, that the entry of foreign investors, given the incentives that they are given, it makes it quite difficult for local entrepreneurs to compete, given the type of incentives.
Not really, Yvette. You know, our number one locators inside the zone by nationality are the Japanese, 42%, followed by Filipinos, 17%. Anyone, small, medium, big, for as long as you are export-oriented, you can go inside these economic zones. So we welcome, in fact, we have programs to assist small companies to supply the big companies that are already inside these economic zones. Everybody